Happy Hump Day from Southern California. Hump Day, as the camel would say, correct, on ESPN. I just wanted to film a video on an area that has certainly affected my life and really affected at least 20 years of my life, and that is anxiety and depression. I had somebody comment on one of my videos before. I filmed 2 videos. If you guys haven't seen them, feel free to see them. Go check them out. I put them on Facebook, my Facebook pages. Filmed one video on guilt and shame, and then my second video is on forgiveness. And right now, anxiety and depression. Somebody asked me if I would do a video on anxiety and depression. It's an area that I'm not super stoked to say that I know quite well. A lot of you might be surprised to hear that, being in the business I'm in, and I've had quite a bit of success in it, in the business of fitness modeling and acting, and I've certainly been enjoying that business, but as you'll learn about a lot of people in this business, there is a lot of anxiety and depression out here in Hollywood. There's a lot of anxiety and depression living this lifestyle of acting and having to audition all the time. It comes a lot, and it's a daily thing that I have to deal with, and especially when I had to face my past from 10 years of age, things that happened to me. It's something that, I had to get over guilt and shame when it wasn't even something that was my fault that happened. And once I dealt with that, I was able to get that anxiety and depression, or that, what are the words I'm looking for? Guilt and shame out of my life. When I dealt with that, when I really dug into it and went to Celebrate Recovery, a counseling type thing, I was able to get over that. So this video definitely comes to heart. Anxiety and depression. So I actually had to take notes on this. I wanted to make sure I hit it right because it's a tough subject, and I believe that I had searched something on it, and over 40% of Americans deal with it. I don't even imagine what it is in other countries, but it affects a lot of people. So the first notes that I took were with anxiety, the definition of anxiety, I'm going to read it. I wrote it down. A feeling of worry, nervousness, or unease, typically about an imminent event or something with an uncertain outcome. Folks, life has an uncertain outcome. We all deal with anxiety on some level, and it's about how much can you keep it out of your life. I think we all know the definition of depression, and these anxiety and depression come for so many reasons. They come for so many reasons. So, I think the first thing that you need to find out is what causes it. I had some major issues back in 2011. And in reality, I didn't even check to figure out what the issues were until 2011, where I was finding myself sleeping all the time, and all I could do, it got to the point where literally all I would do is sleep all the time. I would wake up, get enough energy, I would eat whatever and go to the gym, and I would come back and I would just want to go to sleep again. I was tired all the time, and I didn't know what the deal was. I'm like, am I depressed? Like, what's the case? It caused anxiety because I wasn't getting done everything that I wanted to get done because I slept so much, and I had to go to the doctor and figure out what was going on. Some said, I think you're going through depression. And, the lack of energy, I just couldn't figure it out. Another doctor, he did blood tests on me and everything, and he said, your adrenals are completely shot, and you have a testosterone of an 80-year-old man. I had to fix those issues. I had to fix those things. I had to take Isocort, a product to fix my adrenals. I had to change my diet to fix my test levels. I wasn't eating the proper things, everything that I needed to have in my diet, my vitamins, my minerals. I had to get everything into my diet to fix my energy levels so I didn't sleep all the time. Because what all that caused me was depression and anxiety, because I wasn't accomplishing all that I wanted to accomplish. So find out what the causes are of it. If you have to go see a doctor, see a doctor. I mean, I know that can cost some money, but, see a doctor, get tests done, and figure out why is there so much anxiety and depression in your life. Maybe you need to seek counseling. Maybe there's a deep thing that's happened in your life that has caused that, that's causing that anxiety and depression. I had to, like I said before, I had to deal with things that happened clear back when I was 10 years of age. And I went to Celebrate Recovery, kind of a counseling thing, like a Christian counseling thing, kind of like an AA, but with Christ involved. But this was for other reasons. And, I got to the root of what was causing depression in my life. And through that, I was able to heal that by sharing the things that happened in my life with others and them counseling me through it, bringing me through it. Brothers in my life bringing me through the things that I dealt with in my past. So find out what the causes of your anxiety and depression are. Now you're going to learn what the triggers are. You're going to find out what triggers that anxiety, find out what triggers that depression, and you can plan for success. You can avoid as much as possible by planning. You can avoid anxiety and depression by planning ahead. What else, Sarah? Eat healthy and stay fit. I mean, that's with everything in life. If you're eating healthy, if you're getting the proper nutrients, vitamins, things of that nature, if you're exercising, you're going to be able to handle things better in life. You're going to be able to handle that anxiety or keep it to a minimum because you're healthy enough to deal with those things. You might even try yoga, whatever your mix is. I'm a Christian. I read the Bible. I pray. Those things work for me. You might try that. Try yoga. I mean, of course, I encourage reading the Bible and praying too. I know that not everybody believes the way I do, though. But you want to find things that are going to calm and relax you. Yoga does things like that. And yoga's going to help you to stay fit, and it's going to help you with your stretching, with everything, and with meditation and things like that. It's going to help you to have a moment of just breathing properly. A lot of people have anxiety attacks and they're told, take a deep breath, watch your breathing, things like that. Yoga's going to help that. It should help to get some of that anxiety out of your life because it's a time that you're taking aside to just meditate and relax. So that's one thing that I put on there. You just got to create healthy habits, folks. In general, create healthy habits. Make sure you're getting proper rest. Make sure you're feeding your body proper, healthy foods, that you're getting your vitamins and minerals, that you're getting your exercise. Exercise daily, people. I mean, you can take a day off, maybe 5 days a week, but get that exercise in. If you're not exercising, I can imagine why there would be anxiety in your life and depression, because you're probably not happy with where you're at in life, because you could be more fit, you could feel more healthy, you could feel better in general. Like if you're exercising, it's going to help all areas of your life because you're just in better health. Some other things I wrote down. What's your crowd? What kind of people are you hanging around with? Are you hanging around with people that get you high-strung and stressed out? Are you hanging around people that are doing drugs, that are doing, cocaine, that are drinking alcohol and getting drunk all the time, that are stressing your lifestyle, that are bringing stress around you? Folks, if you're dealing with anxiety, if you're dealing with depression, stay away from drugs and alcohol, please. Only be on drugs that are prescribed by a doctor. The doctor says you need these things. If you're dealing with anxiety and depression, please do not seek out drugs and alcohol for something that's going to heal you. It's not going to work. Folks, it's a Band-Aid. You're putting a Band-Aid on your problem and you're drowning yourself out with drugs and alcohol. Do not go there, folks. It will not work. I have a lot of people in my life. I personally haven't done that, but I have a lot of people in my life that they do that. They do that right now. I try to keep them away from it, but they choose to bring alcohol and drugs into their life to patch their whatever they're dealing with. They don't want to deal with it, so they're patching it. They're not coping with their past. They're not coping with deep issues where roots need to be pulled. Instead, they're just seeking alcohol and drugs to fix the problem. Maybe that's you. Stop. Please get to the root of the problem. Seek counseling. Seek out a Celebrate Recovery. Seek out something, folks. You need to get to the root of the problem and deal with it and pluck that root, throw it in the fire and burn it. It doesn't belong in your life. It's keeping you from getting to where you need to be, folks. To where you want to be. To the you that you want to be. You're not getting there because you're not coping with the issues. So please, I know I'm not a counselor, but I can offer advice of things that I've gone through and what's worked for me, okay? So let me see, what else do I got here, folks? You gotta, the other thing is, I said people, make sure you're getting around the right people that are going to help you, people that care for you, people that will help you through those situations, not people that are going to trigger you to go into anxiety and depression. All right. I also put music. What kind of music are you listening to? What kind of TV shows are you watching? What are you surrounding yourself with? Not just people. What kind of music do you choose to put in your life? Are you rocking out to heavy metal music? It's going to get your heart rate up and get you all amped. Like, gosh, that can make you anxious alone. Folks, what I listen to when I work out is worship music. That's me. That's what works for me. All right. I listen to worship music. I like to spend time in worship. I like to spend as much time with God as I can. When I go jogging, I listen to worship music. Folks, that's what calms me. That's what soothes me. I'm not saying that's what you need to do, but I'm saying that's what works for me. I don't really get too amped up. I get around some people and I'll listen to some Blink-182, some Offspring, whatever. But for the most part, when I'm on my own, when my headset's on my ears, I listen to worship music. That keeps me calm. That reminds me what my focus is in life, which is Christ Jesus. And that reminds me that there's always an appointment for me. It's like I want to be focused on what my purpose is in life. And that's bringing people to the Lord, helping people to know what the greatest thing in my life is, helping them to come to know that. I don't force it on anybody. But I'm certainly always open for divine appointments. If people want to know what brings joy to my life, what's gotten me through anxiety and depression and everything that I've gone through, what's healed me from guilt and shame, what's helped me to forgive others and to be forgiven, ask for forgiveness. That's what gets me through it, folks. So, and finally, folks, you got to plan for success. All right? If you find out what triggers you in the area of anxiety and depression, if you ever get back to that crossroads, you remember, oh, I've been here before. This is what worked last time. I played this one song. I played It's a Beautiful Morning. Oh. Maybe you play a song that's going to uplift you. Maybe you call a friend or a family member that you know is going to say, let me help you through this. It'll get easier and easier, folks, if you plan for success. That's what I suggest. I mean, music almost always helps me a lot. For me, if I get into those moments, I know I have accountability partners I can call from my church. I have a mentor I can call. I have my group from Men's Bible Study. I can pray. I can seek out the Word for answers. Folks, you got to plan for success. I find a lot of times anxiety and depression come because we don't plan for success. There's a lot of things I want to accomplish in this lifetime. And if I don't have goals set, it's going to be hard for me to reach those goals. I mean, this is a whole nother topic, but setting goals is so important. Write them down. Make a vision board of what you want to accomplish. And the biggest mistake people make is they make a vision board, but they don't plan how they're going to attain the visions on their vision board. You have to have a plan to reach those goals. Because sure, you can make a vision board. Every year you can make a vision board and you can put pictures of a beautiful house, a great car, a marriage, all these great things that you want. But if you don't have a plan as to how you're going to attain those things, how are you going to do it? I put a ring, a woman's ring on my vision board. How do I expect to meet my wife? I want to become the man that Christ wants me to be because I believe that the Lord is going to bring my wife to me. So if I'm not the man that my wife needs, if I'm not the leader, if I'm not the spiritual head of the household, I'm not ready for my wife. I don't want anything that God has for me before I'm ready for it. All right? So you need to plan. You need to set goals and figure out how you're going to reach those goals. What are you going to do to reach those goals? What's your plan of attack? I have a job where I don't have to clock into work. I don't have to go to work from 9 to 5. I wake up. Sometimes I have auditions, whatever the case may be. So since I don't have to go somewhere and clock in, I have to plan for success. I have to act like I have a regular work day. So I have to get up 8 o'clock in the morning, go get my coffee, and I act as if I need to clock on by 9 o'clock and be doing emails and whatever it is I need to get done, filming videos, editing videos, and I clock out at 5, and then I don't worry about it anymore until the next work day. I take the weekends off. If I need to work overtime, I work overtime. But for the most part, that keeps me from anxiety because I know I'm going to get up and I need to work. And I'm not going to be tempted to go take a nap or whatever the case may be. As a matter of fact, I'm now getting an office so that I have to leave my house and I'm not tempted to go take a nap at home because I work from home. So that keeps me from anxiety. That keeps me from depression because I make a plan to avoid those things. All right, I've already been filming for 15 minutes. So let me just real quick, for those that care, those are my fellow believers, Christian brothers and sisters, I want to read what, and I typed them all out. What does the Lord, what does the Bible say about how we can deal and how we can cope with anxiety and depression? Well, it says in Isaiah 41:10, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." So it says, fear not. That anxiety, get it out of here. Fear not. I am with you. God is with you. So my fellow brothers and sisters, pray. Fear not. He's with you. Why are you going through anxiety and depression? I ask myself that all the time. I mean, I know that being a Christian not everything's going to be peachy all the time. You know, I know that there's a time for sorrow. I know that that's going to come. But we don't have to stick in it forever, folks. Don't be a stick in the mud in the area of sorrow. All right? Fear not, I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. That's what God says. Philippians 4:6-8. Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. When you're going through anxiety and depression, folks, it says that you can seek God in prayer and supplication and thanksgiving. Seek God, pray in these times. And it also later says to recognize whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable. Is there any excellence? Is there anything worthy of praise? Think about these things. Gosh, you are blessed. You are blessed. Look at the person next to you. You know, look at the people around you. There are people on the streets that don't have a roof over their heads. What do you have to be depressed about? You have Jesus. For those of you that are hanging around there, Christian brothers and sisters, what do you have to complain about? Anybody, whoever it is. That's just good advice. Think about what you have. Look at what you have. You have a roof over your head. Are you wearing a shirt right now? You have clothing. You're clothed. Are you hungry? I mean, that means that you're supplied with food. There are people on the streets that don't have a home, that have to think about how they're going to get their next meal. Do you have a vehicle? You're blessed. Think about how much more blessed you are than anybody else, even if you just have a car or a roof over your head. If you have food to eat. That's reason alone to not be depressed. All right? We're blessed. Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your paths straight. There you go. Trust in the Lord. Are you anxious? Are you depressed? Trust in the Lord. Lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your paths straight. 1 Peter 5:7. Cast all your anxieties on him because he cares for you. Cast your anxieties on him because he cares for you. He's there to comfort you. Proverbs 12:25. Anxiety in a man's heart weighs him down, but a good word makes him glad. Get around people that are going to give you a good word. Read the Bible. That gives you a good word. I mean, sometimes it can be hard. Sometimes it can be convicting. But sometimes you just got to look in the mirror and you got to pull up Stuart Smalley from Mad TV and say, I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And gosh darn it, people like me. Speak life into your lives, folks. That's a whole nother video I can film. You got to speak life into yourself. Please don't speak death into your life. Speak that you can do it. Speak that you are good enough. All right? A good word makes him glad. That's what it says. That's good advice. I don't care if you're a believer or not. Anxiety in a man's heart weighs him down, but a good word makes him glad. That's scripture, but that's just good practical advice. Bring a good word into your life, folks. Speak life. Speak good things into your life. Just a good word, speaking life in your life will help you tremendously. Matthew 6:34, therefore do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Deal with today. Don't stress out thinking about everything that has to get done tomorrow. Enjoy today. Enjoy life today. Matthew 11:28 through 30, one of my very favorites. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. So that's it. I mean, I think that's an amazing verse. When you're dealing with anxiety and depression, come to the Lord, as it says in Scripture there. I know some of you aren't believers, but maybe you need to come to the Lord. I'm not forcing anything on you, but it's worked for me, and probably a lot of you listening. And he says that his burden is easy, his yoke is light. You're not doing it on your own. You don't have to go through life on your own. Get rid of anxiety and depression. A lot of that depression comes from guilt and shame. Get rid of the guilt and shame. A lot of that depression comes from the forgiveness, the two topics I've already talked about. You just wanting to be forgiven or you need to forgive somebody else. That brings anxiety and depression in your life. Both of those topics, folks, deal with them. All right? I love you guys. I pray for you. And, man, I just pray that God just blesses your socks off. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one. I hope you enjoyed this video on anxiety and depression. And I'm sure I'll have another one coming for you soon. Sorry it took 22 minutes, but what can I say? All right, guys, take it easy.